Ho ho buddies, welcome to Borderline Games. I'm Gareth and today we're playing Beyond Our Rule Ripper. Last time we just finished the 5th council and we ended on a vote on who we thought the murderer was. We had a split vote between darts and poker. So at least we've kind of narrowed it down to 2. I say that we should have done it traitors rules and had a second vote. You could only vote for either darts or poker. Anyway, now we're going to enjoy some jazz, see the outro to this council. Another council over, another hour without answers. As the group was getting up and starting to leave, Bill couldn't help but wonder if ending the council early had been a good idea. He didn't have anything else he could say safely, but even so, it doesn't feel like we're making any progress. Are we doing something wrong? Or perhaps a key piece of the puzzle was missing. A piece they hadn't found yet. Or one being hidden by someone. Beyond Our Rule Ripper. Oh, is this just the end of the council? That's funny. Okay, save. Boom. Done. Round and round went the blind shepherd, again and again in search of answers. Not knowing that lurking behind him was the beast he was looking for. And the best. The best beast. When he turns around, it is too late. Judgment is upon him. His achievements and failures will be put on a scale, and a sentence shall be signed. But there is an escape for you, blind shepherd. One shall fall, yet in your privileged position you can take shelter once more. Choose. Huh? Blessed position. Alright. Blessed position. What do you want me to choose? With a mechanical roar, the lift descended, declaring the end of the hour and the beginning of another one. That was the 5th time. 5 hours from the start of the game and 5 more to its possible conclusion, if Rule 4 remained alive. Soon the group's target would shift to fearing that number, and one would be able to act freely, or so Bill feared. Rule 4 is, if the game continues after 10 hours have passed, players will have to end it immediately. I see. Okay. Interesting. That said, he couldn't deny how worrisome that time limit was, either. He couldn't forget his true objective. Before that, though, the antidote. He moved to the counter. When he got there, he had the urge to make sure everyone was there. He didn't want to repeat the same mistake. Thankfully, the few left arrived soon after. The few left arrived soon after. He could drink in peace. The time to unveil another piece of data had come around. Ooh, I want to see what the data is. So the data I have so far, to remind me, likes black coffee, travelled abroad, attempted suicide, takes strolls regularly, was house servants 2 and 5. Is this one new? Is that the new one? That'd be funny. Time to unveil another piece of data had come around. No, it's not. This is the new one. Has a birthmark. Number 6. Do we know someone with a birthmark? Huh? Data with one solitary number. In other words, unique data that only applied to one person. Oh, I'm number 6. I have a birthmark, I'm assuming. I think I'm number 6. Data about 6. His own number? Oh, he knows that he's 6 at this point. Cool. I think I deduced it a couple of episodes back, but I've forgotten that he'd remembered. So, I have a birthmark. There were no marks on his body. Oh. No tattoos, no spots, not even freckles. No freckles, I don't believe it. Moreover, why would he receive data with his own number alone? Even if they'd been distributed at random, it was strange. 6 isn't my number. Oh. That can't be true, can it? Where had he made a mistake? Where could he have gone wrong with this data? How could he not fit with any number at all? Was it even possible he didn't have one? Was that the reason why he couldn't find his number anywhere? No, that makes no sense. What's happening? No matter how many times he read the data he possessed, no other answers appeared. So he started doubting everything. But before falling into that spiral of paranoia, he halted. He needed to calm down. With the information he had, data and hints, he should have been able to reach some conclusion. He had to focus and go through all that information. First, he needed a direction. One way would be to check them one by one, to make sure he wasn't mistaken. To cut down the options, consider which numbers the others could have. Or making sure he really wasn't 6. Go over the numbers again. Check body for marks. We could deduce someone else's number. I would like to find out someone else's number. But isn't it the same as this? Go over the numbers again. That's not necessarily giving me a... That's just going to go over what numbers are to which one. Is that what it is? I've just looked at that, so... Let's go on this. A strange plan. One he'd never considered before that point, but he couldn't conceive any other viable options. While he didn't want to reveal anyone's number, it would not become an issue as long as he kept it a secret. But did he have enough information to figure out someone's number? He could speculate, but that would not get him very far. He needed reliable info, hints, and knowledge about the others that he could trust. First, was there some hint he could link to any piece of his data? So, what I thought was interesting was this one. Out again, won't take too long, as long as you're back before dinner. Not sure if the application would go through, but might as well try. What happens when you click on this? Oh. Which data fit that hint? Oops. Oh, hang on. What am I doing now? Oh. Oh. It was... Takes regular strolls, right? So I should have clicked that to confirm that... Yeah, okay. I didn't realise what I was doing, I guess. It is strolls regularly because of what we saw. Yes. Was there another one? Oh man, I didn't read that thing properly. Can I go back? No. There wasn't anything about black coffee. Was there something about travelling to another country? I don't think there was anything about a suicide attempt. House servants? Birthmark. Oh man, I wish I could go back. Never travel to another country. No house servants, no birthmark, doesn't take straws. So this one's definitely out. We're trying to get to one of these numbers, is what I mean to say. So if they never travelled abroad, that would get rid of 4. And it would get rid of 10. You could probably reverse engineer this. No house servants would get rid of 2. Oh. No birthmark 6 would get rid of... Oh, okay. This, I don't think there was anything to do with that, but it... Was there mention of not travelling to another country? If I do this... Okay. So... I don't think there was anything about a birthmark. Dislikes black coffee. It's not going to be that one. Because... Why? Because that would just add numbers or take them away, which they aren't there to take away. We don't want to add numbers. No house servants? Oh man, this feels like it's wrong. Did it mention that? Things in yellow was him saying not going to be long. They were going to say not going to be long. What was the other thing? I feel this is wrong, but I'm going to try it so that we have 6. Ooh. Found it. I can't look at the thing still. That hint fit with those 3 pieces of data. Travelling to another country, taking strolls and house servants. Taking strolls and house servants, not taking house servants. With only those 3, he could throw out all but number 6. Did I actually do that? Actually, he was making an assumption with the 3rd one. Though given the text, it was reasonable to assume that it was a family without the income to pay for a home service. Now, the only question left was, whose hint was it? Okay. So... Okay. How do I know? See, Cocktail seems the type that would have a servant, but that's mainly the voice I'm giving him. So it could be Cocktail. Oh, it could maybe... No, but Piano, I think, has a house servant, right? Don't the family have a house servant? Darts... Oh man, I don't know who's a pick. Coffee... Vodka? I'm gonna have to look back at that thing after I pick clearly the wrong one. I don't think it's lime. Not me. Should we go with Cocktail? It doesn't fit with him. Okay. Tell me why, please. So not Cocktail. I don't think it's Piano. Okay. Think of them again. Long walks. They haven't travelled abroad. And they haven't... they don't have a house servant. Maybe darts? Nope. Okay. Who else we got? Poker. Man, I wish I could remember everyone's details properly. Coffee. Okay. What? It is coffee. Ah. He had done it. He wasn't 100% certain that that hint belonged to coffee, but she was the most likely candidate. A hint and 3 pieces of data that had been enough to figure out someone's identity, and with it be able to sentence them to death. Uh-oh. It's terrifying. Such was the game they'd been forced to play. But now, what? He'd only managed to discard one of the numbers that he knew for certain wasn't his. Had it been pointless? Should I talk to her? If that hint was truly hers, he had to return it. Not only because it was private, but because it was something that revealed her number easily. 2 of the data he had used were already public knowledge. There was the risk that Coffee would try to silence him, now that he knew her number. However, she could only do that by accusing his number, which was a mystery even to him. He made up his mind, got up from his seat and approached Coffee. As usual, she wasn't paying any mind to her surroundings. But this time, as if weaving a spell, he whispered the right words to awaken her. We need to talk in private. It's important. Judging by her face, she wasn't fond of the idea of being dragged anywhere. Understandably so, as he was one of the suspects, and that proposition would be very suspicious from her point of view. So, he decided to give her another push. He got closer and whispered a more powerful spell, making sure nobody else could hear it. Are you 6? I have one of your... In a flash, Coffee stood up, grabbed his arm, and pulled him from the counter. Whoa! It had been too effective. Super effective. Let me have a look at that thing now. Okay. Let's have a look. Won't take long. As long as you're back before dinner, I don't mind. I'm happy to see you going out to the house more, but you should use it better. This kind of implies that they don't travel. Not just walk around. Try to find a job, give it another chance either that or getting back to studying. We've been in this situation for too long. I know it's tough, but you can't let all your potential go to waste. I found a scholarship abroad for people like you. Yeah, okay, this does imply that. And also this whole thing kind of does suggest that they don't have a house servant. It's interesting. Not sure if the applicant would go through, but might as well try. Don't care. My dear, you can't stay like this forever. Wouldn't it be exciting to travel the world for the first time? This kind of feels a bit like a mother. For the first time. There we go. I'm not telling you to leave if you don't want to, just throwing some ideas. You know things aren't going too well lately. It's interesting. I'm not sure we'll be able to sustain you for much more. Yes, this is like a parent. I don't know what we did wrong, but closing up like that only makes things worse for you. Dinner's ready. Where are you? Okay. Cool. Coffee had brought him all the way to the women's bathroom, so they would not be seen or heard. But it is kind of suspicious. His arm wasn't released until she was certain that they were alone. She wasn't too strong, but her grip was firm. Bill hadn't fought back to make matters worse, even if the location made him uncomfortable. Sorry, guess I was too blunt. Tell me. Everything. While he knew she wasn't rule number 1 for a moment, he felt like, while he knew she wasn't rule number 1, for a moment he felt like his life was in danger. So, I was right. And it wasn't a random guess. No. I found one of your hints, and with my data I managed to deduce it. I thought you didn't want to play. It wasn't my intention, but... Wait, before that, to prove I mean well... He got the printed chat out of the envelope and handed it to her. Although it could rather be said that Coffee snatched it from his hand. A cursory glance was more than enough to cause in her an immediate reaction. Unforgivable. The paper trembled in her hands, but her seething gaze was fixed on it. Her face flushed in ire, displaying more emotion than ever before. Are you okay? No. No need to ask. Don't worry though. I won't reveal this to anyone. You can break that if you want. Actually, you really should. He didn't need to finish the sentence. Or finish his question. The piercing, dying screams of shredded paper were enough of an answer. It wasn't an act of frenzied rage. While repressing her boiling emotions, she meticulously ripped the hint apart into small, illegible fragments that were beyond repair. Bill waited in silence for her to finish. Once it was fully destroyed, she disposed of the remains by flushing them down a toilet. Go on. Well, there's really not much else to say. Sorry, I had to read that. I was looking for hints about one, nothing more. It doesn't make sense. What doesn't? Why did you deduce my number? All I did was connect the hints and data I have. I know the how. I'm asking the why. I thought you were against playing the game. Yeah, I am, but, well, to be fair, I've been having to play passively to investigate one. You were searching for one, yet you ended up finding me instead. It doesn't make sense. Sure, but thanks to that, I could discard one of the hints and return it to its owner. And with that, your secret's now safer. Is that your way of protecting players' numbers? It's safer to hide the hints you found rather than risk finding their owners. You assumed it was mine and gave it to me, believing that I wasn't lying. Isn't that too naive? Or maybe she's not number 6. Seeing her so talkative was strange, but that wasn't what impacted him the most. Coffee was right. She could have lied when she said it was hers, and then kept it, thus putting in danger the real number 6. It's possible that you really are that daft, but there's another possibility. That confirming my number was more important to you than protecting it. Hit and sunk. Getting rid of a hint was a nice bonus, but it had never been his main goal. His intention had been to cross out numbers by deducing ones from other players. I've been wondering what could be your true intentions from the start, and my doubts have only grown since. Do you really want to save everyone? Or is that the lie to make us trust you? No. And finally, under all that pressure, I confess. I wanted to confirm you're 6 and didn't consider that risk. I don't have any ill will, I just... You've been hiding it, afraid of the consequences since the start of the game. But now cornered and pressured, longing for an understanding no matter how, he spoke the forbidden words. I want to know my number. What? Regrets were rising. I don't know my own number. It's gonna be that someone else has the data that, I don't know, something like 1 doesn't know his own number. But that can't be, because I don't like coffee, it would be a different number, you know? What do you plan to achieve with such an obvious lie? No, seriously, I swear, it's not on my barman. It's marked on the rules. Marked how? I'm not joking, I'm being serious. What? How's it marked on the rules? fact marked on the rules. It isn't. Tell me. Coffee had withdrawn back to her usual silence, but now that he'd shared his secret with her, he felt especially awkward. Even her gaze felt more hostile, a darkened brown as opaque as coffee that at any other time would have made him flinch. I kept it secret just in case. I've tried using my data to figure out my number since the start. I thought I had it figured out an hour ago, when there was one option left, which by pure coincidence was 6. But this hour's data made it clear that I'm not 6, so I tried to rule out numbers in a more decisive way. But I was unlucky and ruled out 6, which was already out. Why exactly? My data for this hour only included 6, in fact. That gave him a little idea. If you don't mind, to be completely sure you're 6, can you show me your birthmark? Oh, is it under her neck? Is it on her neck? Oh! For the first time, she was the one to step back. That reaction alone could already be considered a confirmation. That's private. I'm not taking off my clothes. Oh, sorry, should have thought before I spoke. Honestly, you breaking the hint is conclusive enough. What if you have that data? What? Fine. I'll help you. What? Help you find your number, and then I'll keep it secret. That way we can be on equal terms. He hadn't even asked for help, nor had he expected any in the first place. Thanks. Thank me after I've helped you. Not before. Although the lack of any marking on my barman makes me fear there might have been some mistake, or that I don't have a number. It's not impossible, but you shouldn't assume anything without looking into all other possibilities first. Sure, but not really sure what other possibilities are left. According to my own data, I can't be any of them. What is that data? Tell me all the information you have. All of it? All of them? A new dilemma. Could he trust that Coffee wouldn't use that information maliciously? Should he distrust the only should he distrust the only hand that had reached out to him? Taking notice of his doubts, Coffee added one more thing. My only goal in this game is survival. I need to know your number so we both know each other's. My desire to help is sincere. Believe me, I won't use that information to incite a death. Although I will support other accusations so I can be one of the 3 survivors, meaning a passive game strategy. Nothing he hadn't heard before. Yet no matter how many times he heard it, Bill still couldn't understand how one could accept someone else's death. Could he really turn a blind eye to such a game tactic? No matter how passive. Alright. He wasn't in any position to refuse her help. Putting aside his lack of options, he really did want to believe that Coffee wouldn't try to deceive him. He'd always trusted others easily, certainly. Coffee was not the first person to consider him daft. However, above everything else, he had a much simpler reason to trust her. Just as she said, he knew her number. She was at a disadvantage. If Coffee were to stab him in the back, he could do much more harm to her in return by revealing her number publicly. Or perhaps she could still do it regardless, under the assumption that he wouldn't be capable of putting someone's life in danger. He was better off not overthinking it, however. He couldn't show his screen, of course, so he read out loud the data, which Coffee then wrote down on her notes. And none of those 5 pieces of data applied to you. Supposedly. Not supposedly. It's the truth. I have my doubts. Huh? Most are objective, yes, but not all. Not sure what you mean. Could it be, for example, your walks are less frequent than you think? Well, that's up to the owner's judgment, but I'd say I do them more than the average person. There's not much to do at home, so I enjoy them. I get that. Perhaps then you don't remember having travelled abroad. Well, how could I No. There was one possibility he hadn't considered yet. And I guess we're going to find out next time on Borderland Games what possibility we haven't considered. It's probably amnesia. I'll see you next time. Have a good evening. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye.